What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I apologize for the lack of videos lately, I'm kind of slacking, but today we are going to jump right back into it with a fresh square body video for you guys. So for those of you guys that haven't seen any of the previous videos on this truck or any of my videos, this is my 75 Chevy K20 square body and it runs on propane. And yes, that's what I said. There's 3 forklift tanks ratchet strapped currently to the bed because I don't have the toolbox in because I had a topper on it. They were in a toolbox when I bought the truck. Long story short, they all have new hoses now because everything leaked and it still runs on propane. I don't want to open the hood right now. I'll show you later in the video because it's heavy and I have one hand right now. But I have it's an IMCO propane. I'll show you. Hold on a second. We'll get in here. All right, so under the hood, we have an IMCO propane regulator thing with an IMCO is the brand. Propane carburetor. No, it is not propane or gas dual fuel like a lot of things were back in the day and a lot of people still run. It is just propane. That's all. It does not run on gas at all. So now that I just shared that information with you, I pretty much know that you're thinking one of 2 things like everyone does. You're either thinking, oh, that is so cool, that's great, awesome, or you're thinking, wow, that sucks, you got to get that off of there. Well, I am totally in between. I really don't know. It is cool. It's decent, whatever. It's kind of cool. It's always a conversation starter. I just had someone come up behind me at the car wash and say, "Does that thing run on propane?" I'm like, "Yeah, heck yeah, it does. I don't have like just 3 forklifts." So definitely a conversation starter. Pretty cool, but it's very expensive. And that's where I'm getting at. I have multiple reasons. I'll tell you guys in a second why I'm gonna switch over. By the way, the reason I'm telling you all this, today's video is gonna be you probably know by the thumbnail, and we're gonna put this thing back to gas. I think, hopefully, I got all the stuff here. So I'll get into that in a second. So I have multiple reasons why I wanna switch this thing back to gas. Like I said, I'm kinda indecisive. I've been putting it off because first of all, I didn't have all the parts. Second of all, it is kinda cool and the truck runs very, very good. That is until recent. The truck has started having a misfire at idle really bad, which it did have this exact same misfire when I bought it. I put spark plugs in it. They looked horrible, hadn't been changed in years, and it didn't have a miss anymore. It ran great. Well, it's probably got about 1,000 miles on these spark plugs, maybe 2,000, and it already has a very like a dead miss. And there's really nothing with propane. All you have is this regulator. There's a dial I can turn, and this motor has been pretty much tuned for the propane. It has a different cam in it. It has the timing all set up. It's supposed to run very good on propane, which it does. But I think from what I've read, the propane can, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just misses sometimes. I don't know. It seems normal. If not, there's something wrong with the truck, but no big deal. Don't care. Other than that, it runs great. But I know that it does have a mild cam, and because of the timing being turned up so much, you can't really hear that, which kind of sucks. It is down on power because of propane. It takes about 20% of the power away, and this truck actually does have a lot of power. It moves right along. It moves these 37s like nothing. But I've already hooked it to I've hooked it to a few trailers. I pull a car, and I pull multiple boats. And when you put weight behind it, it really does struggle, and I do want to use this truck for that. I want to pull my boat all summer with it. That's kind of my plan. But it'd just be easier to put it, yeah. I know that you have full power with gas, so that's one reason. Second reason is I'm the only one that can drive this thing because everyone in my family is kind of scared of it. I don't expect them to jump out at a red light and switch the propane tanks in the bed. You know, like I'd like my sister, girlfriend, parents to be able to drive it. That is a struggle. There's no fuel gauge. You never know when you're gonna run out. And it tends to run out right in the middle of downtown. That's where it likes to. Not on a back road, it dies right at red lights. That's what it does. No warning, it just shuts off. It's great. Third reason is no one can really work on these things. It's kind of like a forgotten thing. So if something does go wrong with it, I'm gonna end up doing this anyways. I am gonna keep the system. I would like to put it on something or some kind of off-road rig, or one of my friends will probably do that with it. I'm keeping it around, but this truck runs and drives. Everything else works so good that I could literally throw this on the interstate and take it to work every day. I could drive it all over, except for the fact that there is one propane place in town where I live to get, one place in town I can buy propane or get it filled, and there's one place in the next town over. I would almost have to like map out, plan. It'd be like having an electric car, having to plan out stops, because I get 50 miles or less out of one of these forklift tanks, and they are they're $30 to fill. So one tank, $30. It's $90 for all three, and I can drive it basically Friday night I get home from work. I can drive it all the way till Sunday, and Sunday I'm on my last tank and I'm scared to make it home, which really, really sucks because the truck is so cool and so fun to drive, and I love driving it. So there are the reasons. You can tell me I'm dumb for doing it. I probably wouldn't blame you because it is very cool. And if I was just gonna use it around my yard to move firewood, or I don't know, if it didn't run as good as it does, I would probably leave it. But yeah, that's my reasons why. So that's my backup for if you think this is dumb. So let me show you what I got, guys, and then let's work on getting some of the fuel system back into this truck. So here we have a Quadrajet. It's been spray painted black, apparently freshly rebuilt. I know nothing about it. I paid $150 for it. I just bought it from a guy I know. He had it on his shelf. Looks nice. It's rattle bombed like the rest of the truck. Matches perfect, right? And it's an Edelbrock. It's what, or not an Edelbrock. It's a Quadrajet. It's what came right off the truck. So I know nothing about one of these. A little bit worried about it, but I know people that do. They seem pretty easy to work on. It came on the truck. Can't be that hard. I just want to get it running on gas. So Quadrajet, freshly rebuilt and rattle bombed. That's our first part that we got. Second thing we got here, this is the gas tank that was in the truck. If you watched the video of me fixing all the rust, you probably saw me pull this out to paint the frame and just get it out of there because the truck didn't run on gas anyways. Why do I need a gas tank? Well, I was gonna just put it back in. I can't even get the sending unit out of it. It's just falling apart. It's definitely probably got a few pinholes in it. It doesn't look great. So I wasn't gonna use it anymore. So a guy I work with sold me this tank. He bought it, ran it for like a year. Something happened to the truck, and he's been tripping over it ever since. It's literally been in a truck for a year. It's almost brand new. It did have a sending unit in it, and it did have the straps. I don't know where they are right now. It had those, everything on it, but it was for a driver's side tank. So the sending unit has to be flipped anyways, and the straps need to all be flipped around and all that. It did not have a filler neck, but I need to get one. This bed is from a 79, so I have to get a new filler neck either way. So that's why I took all this apart. I cleaned it out really good, made sure there was absolutely no rust in there, vacuumed it out, blew some air through it. And then here's the straps over here. I took the time they were new a couple of years ago. He bought new straps and everything, so I hit him with more paint, clean them up even better. And that's the stuff you wrap around it. So I need to reassemble that. I'm gonna put the sending unit back in. I think I'm just gonna leave it because it doesn't look that bad, but it kind of looks a little rough. I still haven't decided if I just wanna go buy a $60 one. I'm probably gonna regret it once this goes bad. Kinda wanna just put it back in, I don't know yet. So that's where we're gonna start. The fuel lines are actually still under the truck. They were hooked to the tank, and I'll show you right here. They were just unhooked from where the pump was, and there's obviously no pump. So I'm going to blow air through the lines. Hopefully they're clean. I really don't want to change them. Blow all them out. We have to get a pump. I'll rubber line it up to the carb. And we have to get just a pump, really. So yeah, first things first, I'm gonna get this tank re-strapped up, get it all set to be on a passenger side truck, try to get the tank into the truck, blow out those fuel lines, at least get that done tonight, and then after that, I'll try to dive into this, get the carb on there and get all that off, trying to do it nicely, leave it all together, and then after that, I should just be able to put a fuel pump on, hook up some lines and do that. But mainly, it's already late tonight. I wanna get all that mounted back up under the truck, get it off the floor, get that scrapped, and go from there. So I got the tank pretty much ready to go. I went ahead and got rid of the middle hose that was on there. I don't know what that was for, but on my tank, it was just a vent with a little check valve. So I just put a new line on and put that on. I still have to take the rubber lines off, these ones that are on here off, and I'm gonna blow air through the hard lines, and we'll just use these. These are pretty new. But the straps are on. These are hand tight. I need to do a little bit under there, but before we even think about anything else and get the tank in my way, I forgot, I kind of have a dent here when we put this bed on. I'm gonna see if we can make that look a little better before I put the gas tank in the way. Ow. It's not doing much, is it? Well, that's as good as we're gonna get, I think. All right, guys, so I ran into a few issues. Basically, it's just because of what I have, because I got a good deal on this already basically new tank. But like I said, this tank was set up for a driver's side fill. It's supposed to go on the driver's side of the truck. Mine is obviously on the passenger side. So flip the sending unit, no big deal. But these brackets, I'm guessing, I never looked into it because I know I didn't need them, must be driver's side and passenger side. They must be different. I thought it would just be the same. You flip the brackets, no, whatever. Well, these two are both longer. I wish I would have showed you. The tank's obviously already kind of in the truck. You probably can't see it, but it's kind of in there. Long story short, I decided I was just going to take the old brackets off the old tank. And upon taking them off, they had holes in the bottom of them because the tank leaked gas. It sat there and they're both rotted out. They're completely junk. So they're in the scrap pile and we're left with these. So now I'm at this point, the tank is up here, this rear strap, the hole's lined up and it's sitting where I believe the factory tank where it's supposed to be. It's just about a ½ inch lower than the truck body. The front is lower with the bolt holes that are in there. So that's obviously not right. So what I'm gonna do I have 2 bolts in the back. So instead of taking this down and ordering all new brackets, painting them like I painted these and just redoing all of this stuff, I'm going to put the level on the bottom of the frame, see where that's at, and then I'll level the bottom of the tank and set the jack right there. And I'm just gonna drill, not through the frame holes line up with the brackets. I'll drill right through the bracket and I can fish my bolts up through there and that should work. I don't see a problem with that. It's just the holes that are in these brackets aren't lining up with the holes in my frame. Other than that, the tank fits up in here. I ran into the step a little bit, but I got that cleared with a hammer. So that's what's up now. That's a little update. Level this, drill some holes in the brackets, and then the tank should be up in the truck. The fuel lines already reached, the hoses, the hook lines. I did off camera use the air compressor. I cranked it way up. There was a bolt in the end of where the fuel pump is. Those 2 hoses, I took those bolts out, so luckily nothing could get in there. Took these hoses off and I blew air through there forward and backwards both ways. And it's not plugged, so that's great. But hopefully there's no holes in it because they look a little rusty, but if we have to, I'll get fuel line, no big deal. But we're gonna try to use the original fuel lines from the truck. And yeah, so I'm gonna drill this, get this tank at least mounted tonight. That's where I wanna get. And then after that, all we have to do is under the hood stuff. So I'm gonna mess with this for a minute and we'll see if we can make something happen without buying stuff. All right, so what I did is I put all 4 bolts tight with a ratchet back there in that one. Therefore, the tank should be how the tank is supposed to sit in the truck. To me, it looks like I can see more of the tank in the front. Like it looks like it's pitching down. The level says it's pitching down, but it's also flimsy metal, so I don't know what to really level off of. Comment below, is this how it's supposed to sit? Let me show you underneath the truck. I'm just gonna drill where the front bracket where it is, because that's clearly where the tank's happy, so I don't know. Let me get underneath there and show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, under the truck right here, I have all 4. They went where they're supposed to in this bracket. Those are really tight. And then we slide over here to the front and none of them line up, they're closed, but that's because of this. I reached my fingers up here. There is a gap between the truck cap and the bracket. I thought I just couldn't go up any higher, but no, that's where it's supposed to be. So I really don't know. I mean, it's level enough. I forget the truck has been rolled. So there's a chance that honestly probably has something to do with it. I don't know. We're going to go with it because whatever. I hooked up the sending unit and I hit the key and the gas gauge actually it went to over full, so I don't know, it's actually moving, so it's good enough. I'm sure I don't know, maybe I'll put a little bit of gas in it and make sure it works and I can drop it again and replace it. I don't know, hopefully that just works. And these are the lines that were on the tank with a thicker hose over them to protect them. Those will actually reach perfect. Like that actually is gonna work out. So there's the lines, blew air through them, new brake line there, the fuel lines are rusty ones. I'll be able to hook those up after I drill these holes. And then everything other than that should be up front. So yeah, I'll drill these holes, throw those hoses on with some hose clamps, and I think the tank part should be good. All right, boys, so we are all done in the back of the truck, tank-wise, all that. So now it's time to dive into actually swapping the carb. So real quick, I'm gonna shut off the tanks in the bed, start this thing up one last time on propane, let it clear the fuel line out, because if I don't, it'll just spray. It's pretty freaky. I disconnected it once. I don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and run the propane out of the lines, and then we will get this propane carburetor off of here and get the quadrajet on there. All right, she should be running out of fuel here now once it clears the line. Line holds more than you think. All right, well, hopefully you guys have a decent view here. So what I'm planning on doing is, just in case the carb doesn't go well right off the bat, I'm basically just gonna unhook the carburetor itself and I'm gonna leave the regulator. So over here, this is the IMCO propane system, propane carburetor. That is a regulator, all this stuff. I'm going to leave that mounted to the fender. So that being the case, which honestly guys, I've never looked at this. I've never really, it just works, so I haven't looked at it. So it looks like what I need to do is basically just take off this vacuum line, which activates that basically, and lets it start feeding propane to the carb. And then this, which is the actual fuel line itself. So I'm gonna unhook this line, and I'm gonna unhook this vacuum line. And other than that, it's just a basic carburetor sitting on top. So leaving all that in there, and we'll deal with that after it's running good on gas. So I'm gonna start a time lapse. I'll be with you guys in a second. I'm just gonna start pulling some stuff off, but I need to take pictures and I need to, remember what I'm doing. So. Guys, I think she's coming off. Pretty simple. It's kind of stuck on there. It's been on there since 2012 when we did the motor work to this thing. So I got a new gasket anyway, so it can get pried. Wow, taking the spacer with it and everything. Okay, whatever. That thing is stuck, man. Oh my goodness, what the heck? It's that back corner. All right. Oh, geez. Oh, there she is. It's a carburetor. It's just propane. And it's so cool. All right, guys, well, we're ready to put the carb on, but the parts store is closed and it's really late already. I was gonna go ahead and throw the fuel pump on, but I'm gonna wait till we got the carb on and start from there and work back to the pump. So I think I'm gonna call it a night and I will pick back up tomorrow after work. We'll get the right gasket. I already pulled the studs out for the carb because those were too wide, so gotta change those, no big deal, and we'll get this thing knocked out. Well guys, I was about to throw the carb on tonight. That was my plan. Come here, throw the carb on, work on the fuel pump, get this thing ready to fire up soon. But that just got cut short, and I'm gonna show you why. So, this is the Quadrajet. First Quadrajet I've ever seen in my life. I have never messed with one, ever. And I went to throw it on the truck, and do you see this here? They're not normal, just short carburetor studs. These are you need a 3.5 inch bolt basically, or stud. I already looked it up, and you can I was thinking, why not just throw bolts down it and order the ARP kit from Amazon and wait a week to get it. So I only have 3-inch bolts here, and every store is closed, obviously. So we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow for that. So I'm gonna have to get 3.5 inch bolts, put those in there. The back is fine with just those studs. Honestly, I might just get a short bolt. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna get like an 1-inch-long bolt. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna get some studs, and then we can get the carb on. So my plan changed, and I decided I'm just gonna get the fuel pump bolted up. This truck currently has just a block-off plate on the side of the block where the mechanical fuel pump used to be. Well, this is the pump that O'Reilly sold me, and it has 2 bolt holes in it. And I'm looking at the block-off plate, and it has 4. So I don't know what that's about, but I guess I'm gonna take the block-off plate off so I can see what's going on. I don't know how this would work. It's a square block-off plate with 4 bolts, and this is 2 bolts, and it's like weird. Dude, I don't know. This is dumb. So give me a second. I'm gonna take the block-off plate off. And if you don't hear from me till tomorrow, then none of this is the right parts, and I don't have bolts, and I can't do anything but the gas tank's in the truck, so great. Haven't posted a video in a month. Oh, geez. Haven't posted a video in a month. This is taking forever. So underneath the block-off plate is this absolutely disgusting goo. I don't know if it's oil or mud mixed with green gasket material. I don't know. This rag's going in the garbage. It's disgusting. So I guess I'm gonna clean that out with my finger. Pretty disturbing, honestly. But that can't be in there. And that's definitely not the right pump at all. So we're not doing that either. I knew it wasn't. All right, guys. I'm extremely irritated, but I want to give you a quick update because I've done some stuff today on the truck. It's still not running. That Quadrajet that I bought, it has no choke, and it has like no vacuum ports on it. I don't know what the deal is with it. There's nowhere to hook up anything, so I need to get a spacer with hole. Not even gonna deal with it. So my parts truck outside, that was a mud truck, I just went and pulled the Edelbrock off of that, and I put that's what's currently sitting on the truck. I tried to clean some of the mud out of it. It's horrible, whatever. It's my other option for a carb because I want my truck back up and running. So right now it's, a mud covered Edelbrock is now on there. Pretty sure I just stripped one of the studs out of the intake, tightening it down. So now it has to come back off. The pump is on. I had to get an adapter plate or a mounting kit. I don't know, whatever. Pump's on there. So basically, what I got to do now is get this down to the pump. I need to get a different fitting for the pump that's at a 90, and I need to pull the carb off again and make sure that stud, or tighten down that stud. I don't know what I got to do. And then I got to plug that vacuum port and put gas in it and pray, I guess. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Everything, when they did that, they pulled off everything for that. I had to get bolts for that. This is just getting a carb to work on this thing. I'm just having terrible luck with this thing. So I'm gonna go to the store, get a couple more things, and then pull this back off. And once I get that on and the truck is ready to try to fire, I will pick back up the camera for you guys. Well guys, this project has gone absolutely awful for me, but I think I'm gonna try to start the truck now. Let me show you what I've got done. Basically, from LMC not getting my parts here quick enough to just, everything's gone wrong. To put gas in the truck, I put a little bit in it. I used a funnel and a universal radiator hose from O'Reilly to get a 90 on it because LMC is taking forever with the new fuel filler neck. So That's already just dumb. And then let me put this down. Over here, there's no 90-degree barb fitting for a fuel hose, I swear, at any store in town. So I actually ended up ripping the hard line off the truck I pulled the carb off of. So that looks kind of stupid, but it's better than the fuel hose going straight into the fan. Had a nice bend on it. This looks ridiculous. It's all gonna have to be redone now once all my parts show up. Couldn't get a gasket for the Edelbrock, don't know, whatever. So I reused a gasket. Basically everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. Oh, I forgot, I got new vacuum. I'm gonna get rid of this, and I actually got vacuum plugs sitting over here. So I gotta do those two real quick. Block off those, and I dumped a little gas down the carb, and I put maybe a gallon in the tank. I'm just gonna hit the key, see if we can maybe get this thing running, mainly because the reason, this has been in here for a week. It was not supposed to be in here for a week. It is in the way of everything else in here, needs to go out. So I need to get the truck outside, wait for all my parts, and then later on, maybe in another video, we'll just get everything right. But now this turned into, it's like almost like a revival. I just need to get it to run and get it out of here. I'm really close to throwing the IMCO back on it and turning on the propane tank and just doing that. I left all this in here, but I really was determined to get this going, but this has just gone horrible. And the engine bay is just a muddy mess. It's disgusting. So everything, it's so bad, guys. So I'll set you guys up on the camera stand and see if this thing will pop off on gas. Maybe it'll pull fuel from the tank. Probably not, because, you know, there's barely any gas in it, because I can't get gas in it because of the stupid fuel filler neck that's not here. They got ordered 2 weeks ago. All right, let's see what we get. Gas. All right, boys, it's the next day. We're here. Here's the truck. Same spot, obviously. So last night, after I spent a while on this thing, shortly after I got done throwing everything in sight, having a mini crash out moment, I did what every kid my age does that works on vehicles, and went to the internet and realized that this truck did not have the push rod on the fuel pump. I've never seen that. It's a small block Chevy and I didn't know that, whatever. When the guy converted to propane and put the fuel pump block off plate on, he took the push rod out too, which makes sense. I don't think it can just bob around in there. So I just got one of those from O'Reilly, threw it in there off camera, because I honestly didn't know what was gonna happen. And as you can see right here, cranked it over a little bit and the filter is full of fuel. So I spazzed out for basically no reason. It was a $14 piece of steel that I didn't know was there. So sometimes, you know, I'm 25 years old. This truck's 50 years old. I was not even born yet, and these things were as old as I am. So you can't know everything. So just a mistake. So now I'm gonna set up the camera and we're gonna see if this thing will fire off on gas, and then probably have to tune this carb, even though it came off with 350. If we can, I just hope this thing runs. This carb looks horrible. So yeah, let's set up the camera and see if we can get it to run. All right, so the filter is full and I just dumped way too much gas down the carburetor. So it should fire off, and let's just hope it starts pulling fuel. Dirt track car. All right, we need to adjust the idle. And I don't even know, we gotta look into this a little bit. This thing is ripping. It ran, right? Well, boys, she's running and running great. And it actually smells like an old truck now, not a forklift. It smells so good. Ended up being a bad gasket that was causing that high idle. So we swapped out the gaskets, and yeah. So real quick, obviously I got it outside. I'm gonna buzz over to the gas station. It's like right there off. I put like a gallon in from a gas can, and hopefully I can get it to the gas station. And I got a funnel and a radiator hose to try to get some gas in this thing. And then we'll come back, I'll pull it in, and I will show you under the hood real quick. And yeah, that's just moisture. It might be a little rich, but I revved it up, so the cam sounds really good. You can really hear the cam now. Well, boys, I think I'll make Walmart our little test drive area. I got 3 gallons of gas to go in there using a funnel and a radiator hose, but she's running it's running better the more I drive it, kind of cleaning out that carb, because that carb has been sat on that truck for, I mean 6 months to a year without running, so we got to run a little fuel through it, but it's coming around. It's kind of rebuilding itself, if you will. I'm gonna give it a little bit of the beans when we leave Walmart, and yeah, we'll get back to the shop. Running great. I think the accelerator pump's kind of coming around too. Nope, maybe not. All right, I'll give you a little dick from the red light, but we gotta go easy on the gas because the accelerator pump is leaving the chat. Yeah, she gets down. All right, let's get this thing inside. Well, fellas, we did it. Good enough, I should say. This still has loose ends, I should say, to tie up, like every one of my vehicles does. But it runs great. Honestly, it really does run great. I can drive it, and I need my truck back, because my other truck, you'll see in the next video. But yeah, got the truck back. Let me give you a little rundown on what we need to do, which I'll just do probably off camera. But either way, the truck is running on gasoline for the first time since 2012, which is awesome. And it sounds, personally, I know the camera mic kind of goes a little distorted there, but it sounds a lot better. So let me show you what we got left to do. So first thing first, this regulator, all that can come off now. And the T-fittings where that's tied into the antifreeze coolant, therefore that keeps the propane from, I think it keeps it warm or cold, I don't even remember. It does something for that. I can take those out and just put regular couplings in there and get all that out of here. I need to trim some zip ties, that's for sure. I need to get a different stud to get the air cleaner back on. Could hook up the electric choke, even though it seems to do just fine, honestly. We'll see when it gets actually cold out. I'll probably just hook it up. Part of me wants to, the accelerator pump is toast in this carb. I really like this carburetor, honestly. And I have other square bodies, so part of me that I need carburetors for. So part of me wants to buy a brand new one of these, put it on this truck that I'm gonna drive all the time, and then when this one's off, rebuild it. I don't know. Either way, this needs rebuilt or replaced already, I know. I would like to get the correct fuel line, hard line, and just change that out one day. But pump to tank, we're good. That part is all that's really staying, I guess. And then the next thing, the first thing we need to do, which the part is at home, it got delivered, it just got delivered late, is the fuel filler neck. You already saw earlier in the video, that's a universal radiator hose and a funnel I was using. So need to get all that squared away so that I can actually put gas in it. I was able to get 3 gallons in it, but it took me probably 15 minutes of just pulling the trigger. It was annoying. So got to do that, but I think I already have that part. And then obviously get these suckers out of here, which is awesome. Maybe put the toolbox back in the truck because I want propane tanks. That'll be exciting. But other than that, I crawled underneath. We have no leaks anywhere, surprisingly. And yeah, thing sounds awesome. Next for this truck is either, I don't know, we're either doing interior or we're doing exhaust. Since we did this, I want to do exhaust. But the engine's good enough. Hopefully I don't put it off too long, but I'm at least going to order the correct fuel line because that looks really ugly and that's easy to change out, and get the air cleaner back on there. I kind of forgot it wasn't on and I was just ripping around, but whatever. We did splash some gas out of the tank, so I need to take care of that. That being said, I'm rambling now. This video is probably already super long. I don't even know. I haven't looked at it. But there you have it, the propane square Hank. It runs on propane and propane accessories. A little sad, does not anymore. It runs on gasoline like a normal truck should. And it's gonna get driven all over the place now. Are you sad about it? I'm just a little bit sad because it is cool, but in reality, this is so much better. So, and it has a lot more power. Honestly, it does. So, all right, I will catch you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing and coming back to the channel. Check out the other videos on this truck and the other trucks I have, and stay tuned because now I'm back. We're doing more. So, I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Quick little update for you guys before I end the video. I ended up rebuilding it, ran it through the ultrasonic cleaner, all that. It looks like a brand new Edelbrock now and runs absolutely flawless. Still did not take this out, but that runs absolutely flawless. I got the air cleaner on from the other truck that was on, that's made for that carb. And then also got this in finally, all bolted up in there. This is nice. And then I had to use a universal hose actually, but got that. And I've already filled it up, not filled it, but put gas in it twice, no leaks, nothing. So we are all good. I'm fired up because it starts up and just runs amazing now that this carb is rebuilt. It was full of mud. I should have took some clips of it apart, but it was absolutely full of mud. Next up, definitely exhaust shop. All right, that's all. Also, I think I mentioned to you guys the accelerator pump was bad, but listen to it now.